Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 6 of CBOT Unplugged. Today, we have a special guest, not really a guest, but one of our own, Erika. This is her first time on the podcast.
Long-time listener, first-time guest.
Usually she's behind the camera editing everything and making sure everything goes smoothly, but today she is jumping on to talk about all things AI. So we're excited to be here. And my name is Alyssa, for anyone who does not know.
And I'm Erika, as you've heard.
So we wouldn't be able to do our podcast without our amazing sponsor. The sponsor for this episode is Michael Durham Landscaping, one of our amazing CBOT members. Michael Durham Landscaping offers a full range of services to maintain and create beautiful outdoor spaces for your home and commercial properties. They work hard so you don't have to. They incorporate courtesy, dependability, and integrity into everything they do. They service the Durham region and GTA, and no landscape project is too big or too small for them. So they do lots of different things, from lawn maintenance packages, seasonal cleanup packages, tree and shrub removal, pool removal, demolition and disposal, junk and garbage disposal, and snow removal. So wide range of services. Bonnie actually used Michael's services for her backyard gardens. She was very impressed with the team's professionalism and ability to completely transform her backyard. They really rejuvenated everything, de-weeded, put up a trench around it. So she was very, very happy. So reach out to them for all of your landscaping needs. www.michaeldurhamlandscaping.com.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to dive right in today, but before we get started with that, we need to introduce another special guest. All right. Bum, 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 bum. ChatGPT. So for anyone not watching, we have a little robot picture here, if you will, of ChatGPT. So Erika, please introduce ChatGPT and tell everyone who he is.
Okay, I will do just that. So this is our new AI assistant that we got to create within ChatGPT. We named him Chad because we just kept calling him Chad by accident, ChatGPT, if you will. So that is his new name. He is our assistant. He acts as a CBOT intern, and basically we built him using ChatGPT to be able to answer any of our questions about things like our bylaws or how we talk in our tone of voice, our brand voice, things like that. We've trained it. It's our own model of AI using the pro version of ChatGPT. So we decided we would have him as a special guest today because he is all things AI.
And explain his photo for us, for anyone watching.
So he is a tiny little robot, and he's got nice pink cheeks, and he's holding a clipboard because he's ready to handle any task that we throw his way. And when we were creating our GPT, I asked it to generate a picture of what it thinks it would look like. So this is the picture that it generated for us, and it said that it was ready to help with anything CBOT. So you can see he's got a little checklist there because he's ready.
He's ready, and he's willing, and he's helpful.
Yes, he is very, very helpful.
Awesome. So we're also going to start with a bit of disclaimer for this episode, just to put it out there that we are not AI experts. We know that. And this is not really like a philosophical debate about AI. It's just more like we can't get away from it, and we know that AI is not going anywhere. It's becoming embedded in the tools we use. It's becoming in really everything around, like embedded in everything around us. So it's just kind of how we're using it. This is going to be just more focused on AI from a ChatGPT perspective because that's where we have the most experience as a team and in our personal lives as well. So we're not going to dive into like too many any other AI tools really because we're not experts in that. We're not experts in this either, but just, we have
a lot of experience with it.
Exactly.
And we've been using it for probably over a year now. So we feel like we're well versed in ChatGPT.
Yes. And there's tons of AI tools out there, probably doing things that we don't even know is possible. So we are definitely not experts again. So we just want to put that out there. But we thought it would be helpful to just talk about how AI really helps us in our business and how business owners that maybe haven't started using AI can get started with ChatGPT. So.
Yes, we wanted to kind of make it a little less intimidating for people to start, especially if you're a small business or an entrepreneur. It can really help you in your business.
Yeah, which we'll dive into. So
exactly.
Let's start with the first part of our discussion, which is going to be why AI. So why are we talking about this right now? So we here are a not-for-profit. We're a team of 4, so we have, limited resources. We are all taking on a lot of different things. So it's been really helpful for us to kind of have that extra AI or persona, if you will, that kind of helps us with some of our daily tasks, and not to replace a human, but just kind of to be like our own personal assistants.
Yeah, an assistant or an intern. And we use it to get ideas. We don't necessarily use it to completely take over our job or write things for us all the time. Like, we always make sure that it has the personal touch from us. Like, it is our assistant. We could task it with something, it can bring it back to us, and then we can edit it and look at it from the lens of a real human and make sure it's not replacing any of us.
Exactly. Yeah, and AI is really, it's very relevant for small teams and organizations like us. Again, it's kind of like that additional employee, that assistant, and it really helps you focus your time more on the things that you're good at. So, for example, if you don't feel confident in marketing and you're not good at social media, or you don't really have the time to actually practice, AI is a really, really good tool to kind of take that work away from you, if you will, and focus more on things that you are good at, or the aspects of your business that are more important to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So that's kind of why we're tackling this topic today. So we're gonna dive into how we're using AI right now as a team here at CBOT, and also in our personal lives.
Yes.
I'll let you get started, Erika. Maybe we'll start with just some ways we've used it in our personal life that people may not think of.
Absolutely. So for my birthday this year, my mom bought me a Ninja Creamy, which, if anybody doesn't know what a Ninja Creamy is, it's an ice cream maker.
It's the best.
It's amazing. I'm lactose intolerant, so I finding ice cream that's delicious and it's not just vanilla or chocolate, it's really hard for me. So now I can make my own ice cream at home using strawberries and bananas and things like that, and lactose free, whatever milk I want or anything I want. I can make sorbet, things like that. But the lack of like recipes out there, or the lack of me going, I don't know what I want to make, I just use ChatGPT. I open it up and I say, these are the ingredients I have today. I have milk, I have vanilla, lactose-free milk, I have vanilla, I have pudding mix and bananas. Make me a recipe. And it'll generate me an entire recipe. And if I like it, then usually I'll ask it to make like a batch of 4. And then I can make a batch of 4, and it just gives me all of the quantities I need. And I can ask it for other ideas like, well, I have watermelon. I just made watermelon ice cream. It's really good.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. I made sorbet. I put lemon juice in it. But I didn't know what I was going to put in it. I said, I have watermelon. Help. Yeah. And ChatGPT said, do you also have a lemon? Like, I sure do. So then it made me a recipe using a lemon and watermelon, and it was amazing. And I never would have probably thought of that on my own.
I know that Bonnie also just used ChatGPT to make a blueberry loaf, I think, 2
Oh my
weekends
God,
ago,
so
and she
good.
brought it in. It was phenomenal.
It was
we polished
very
it
good.
off for
we
sure.
Did. Yes, we indulged.
Yeah. And then, so for one example of what I use it for, this year I wanted to finally de-weed and fix up my front garden at my house. So I didn't really know where to start or what type of plants to plant. I'm not like a huge green thumb type of person, but I knew that I did want to plant some perennials so that they would just keep coming back every year, and I can do, a little more low maintenance gardening.
Yeah.
So I actually just took a picture of the front of my house and I sent it into ChatGPT of the current garden, and just said basically, remove the weeds, clean this up here, and give me some ideas for some plants. And it placed them all, and it gave me like a whole shopping list for when I went to the garden center. Very cool. Very cool.
That's very cool. I need to pause right now because my computer fell asleep. All right, and we're back.
We are back. It's just some technical difficulties, which happens when you are a team of 4 recording a podcast and also editing at the same time, which is what Erika does. So.
I don't typically sit on this side, so when I notice things happening over there, I have to go and attend to it.
It happens. Too bad ChatGPT can't help with that and grow some legs.
Yeah.
That would be handy.
Yes, it would.
So back to what we were doing in our personal lives with ChatGPT. So,
yes. Do you want me to do another one?
Yep.
Okay. So this one I think is useful for everybody. When you are online shopping and you go to search for coupon codes, what do? Go straight to Google. And then you go to all these threads and find all of these coupon codes, and you spend so much time copying and pasting them in for them to not work. So just open up a new chat with ChatGPT and say, I need a coupon code for, on the weekend, I used it for Bath & Body Works. They were having a sale, and I wanted to see if I was getting the right price. They're the best price. So I typed it into there, and I got $10 off my order.
Yep.
Just like that. And it took 2 seconds to type it in. If I was searching for those coupon codes myself, it probably would have taken a lot longer.
Yeah, it's handy. And it can also search different sources. So it'll search like Reddit threads or TikToks and look for things like influencer codes.
Yeah.
So it has that kind of like ability to really search everything on the internet.
Yes.
And yeah, it's very handy for that. I've also used it for the same thing. Because we
Gotta
like
save that
discounts
money.
over here. Yeah. Exactly. So also this summer, I was having some issues with my furnace where it's hard to explain, but it was like freezing up at one point and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. So I troubleshooted it with ChatGPT. I explained the issue I'm having, and it actually walked me through all the steps, and I uploaded some pictures, and then we were able to diagnose that it was like freezing down. I'm not good at this. I don't know how to explain furnaces, but something with the coolant. So that when I actually did call the furnace company, I had a bit of background on what was happening and I could explain it a little better, which was very helpful. So
that's amazing.
We love ChatGPT for that.
We love troubleshooting.
Yes, we do. Anything that you need to troubleshoot, whether it's in your personal life or work, it's nice to just throw it in ChatGPT. Of course, you can do that in Google too, but it's nice that you can really explain, like, and get really down to the nitty gritty on the issues that you're having, and it'll help.
Yep, I used it 5 minutes before we started the podcast because I got a new computer and I'm using a new software and I couldn't get something to connect properly, and I threw it into ChatGPT and it spit out an answer, and 5 minutes later we're rolling.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. It's super helpful
for
troubleshooting any tech, anything.
Yeah. Do you have another one? I have one more if not.
I do have one more.
Perfect.
So this is going to be a really niche specific thing I use it for, but I have 2 toddlers. One of them is under 2, so he's still drinking milk. And when I have to travel, like going camping or things like that, I need to make sure I have enough milk. And I don't want to do the math on how much milk I need. So I just give it the formula where I say Riley needs to drink 3 bottles a day, and they need to be 7 to 8-ish ounces each. And then I give it the total quantity of what I have. So usually I use ounces for the bottles, and then I say I have 4 liters of milk. So then it does all the conversion for me, and it says, you're good to go. You have enough for 7 days. So don't worry about that 3-day camping trip. And it always usually adds in something funny, because the way that you talk to ChatGPT is the way that it talks back to you. So normally it'll give me a witty little remark at the end, like, if you run out, don't worry, because there's a store this far away from you. So it's really funny with me anyway, because I so like to insert that humor back into it so that I have fun when I use it.
It's so handy. And then one more thing for me, I think we talked about it in the last podcast, but I'm going on a trip in 2 weeks. So I'm someone who goes on a trip with a very, very detailed plan of what's happening every day. So planning and making that itinerary has been so helpful in ChatGPT. This is the first time I've ever been on a trip and used ChatGPT for the itinerary planning. It's so helpful, even just from like restaurant recommendations. If you want to look for like cool Instagrammable spots, you can Google things like that. You can even put in like, I like to travel, but I'm someone who really appreciates seeing cool landscapes. Give me some recommendations for this. And it'll actually put it in a nice format for you. So like it was able to generate a document for me, and then now I'm done.
Amazing.
Yeah. So very,
Saved
very
you some
helpful.
time.
It did. Yeah. Huge time saver. So yeah, let's maybe move into some uses that we use here as a team for business.
Sure.
Perfect. You can go ahead and
You
start.
want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So my role is creative. I like to do I don't like to do, I have to do, but I also like to do all of the marketing for our events and things, like the graphics that you see out there, the collateral, if you will. So sometimes I'll find inspiration somewhere and I really like a specific font someone's used on something else, or I just have a description of how I want it to look, and I'll throw a font into ChatGPT and say, I found this picture somewhere on the internet and I love the font that they used. Or I want a big bubbly font. I want it a nice thin font, things like that. And then I give it the program I use. So I say, in Canva, what fonts are similar to this? And it'll tell me. It'll spit out 5 or 6 different fonts and say, try these. These have the same aesthetic, or this gives the effect that you're looking to have. So I love it for font identification or font ideas because, I don't love to use the same font every time I make a post, but sometimes that's just my default.
Mm-hmm. And then since you're in a marketing role, this might be helpful for people to know, but what would you say is like the most tedious task that it takes away from you?
Generating social media captions.
Thought so.
Absolutely, because you want to post consistently. We like to post at least once a day, but we really try to post twice a day because you want to get that consistency out there. And there's only so many times you can write, we were excited to have this event. So I do like to use Chad, which is the ChatGPT that we built for ourselves because it knows our brand voice. I've trained it, Chad, right here.
On our table.
On our table. Because he knows our brand voice and he knows the tone that I like to speak in, and he knows that I hate using buzzwords and I don't love using M dashes, which are those really long dashes that professional writers love. And AI knows that professional writers love to use those, so it has started inserting them everywhere. So it knows that I like to avoid things like that. It also knows that I love Canadian spelling and not US spelling, which is really helpful too, because if you're just hopping onto ChatGPT as a small business and you start saying, make me a social media caption, it will default to using American spelling. Mm-hmm. So Chad does not use American spelling, so it's easy for that as well. But it knows everything about us. So I just say, we've had this event. I'll post the description in there and say, we learned this, this, and this at that event. And then it'll spit me back out like a caption that I usually have to rework a couple times and say, well, no, that was too dramatic. Mm-hmm. We did not have that much fun. Although
it is very dramatic.
And so it's really handy for taking that away from my plate, because that social media is not the only thing that I do. Yeah. It takes up a lot of time. So, yeah.
Totally. Yeah, something we notice with ChatGPT is that it can be very dramatic sometimes. So we actually talk to it like a friend when we say, stop being so dramatic. Give me a more, human answer. Not so much drama, Chad.
Yeah.
And it definitely helps. So
yes.
Don't be afraid to talk to ChatGPT like it's a friend, like it's a bro.
That's how mine talks to me.
Exactly. So me being the events person at CBOT, I do a lot of different event descriptions, and especially we're always racking our brains trying to come up with some cool and unique and fun event names, but also, to the point. So
yes.
We do a lot of brainstorming on event names, even just as a team, for our events in ChatGPT. We actually did that yesterday, and we usually just take like a word or two. We don't usually take verbatim the titles that they give, because again, sometimes they can be a little bit dramatic, but it's really helpful for even just getting like an idea and just kind of, bouncing ideas back and forth with it. So
yes. Yeah. Love that. And we'll see what it comes up with. We don't like to take exactly what it's given us. It can sound not robotic, but it can sound really cheesy really fast.
Yeah.
Or really cliche.
Buzzwords
galore.
Yeah.
But yesterday we were actually looking for a name for our Christmas party, because we've always just called it the CBOT Christmas cocktails, and we wanted to move away from that and try and find something a little bit better. And one that we really liked but we didn't go with, it gave us...
I'm finding them right now. This is why I have my laptop here, so I can read some of these weird, crazy things.
Oh, yeah. We'll tell you some of the cheesy things that it came up with. That was crazy. But
CBOT Holiday Frost and Found. What is that?
Why?
Snow Show. Hell yes.
Yeah, we're not going to use those ones.
Maybe no weather-themed ones. Yeah, so...
But the one that we liked and we didn't end up using was the CBOT Snowshul.
So
we liked that vein of like
we love a pun.
Having it be punny. Punny is kind of our sweet spot sometimes.
Yeah.
But then when we told it we liked the word snowshul, it just started coming up with so many snowshul puns, and they were all the same. And we were like, no. We liked that vibe and we wanted something different. So when we said that to it, it came up with better names. So you just have to have that that conversation, that back and forth with it to really get down to something that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But we just pick kind of words out of it and then call it a day.
We did end up just using Bonnie's idea, but
we did
see when we launch the event shortly.
Yeah.
So we actually didn't use ChatGPT this time, but
but it was fun.
But it was fun, and it gave us some inspo for sure.
It did give us some inspo.
Awesome. Anything else you want to touch on from business?
So I'm going to just talk a little bit about how Bonnie uses it. When we built Chad, our personal customized GPT, we uploaded all of our bylaws and our vision and our mission and our brand colors, like all of the nitty gritty things, so that when Bonnie is doing something with one of her committees, or if she has a question about our bylaws, instead of having to sit there and read through a 26-page document, she can ask Chad, hey, what section of the bylaw is this topic? And it will say on page 24, section this, you'll find this like thing that you're looking for. So it's super helpful as a reference for her to be able to go in there and not waste so much time skimming through words. And it's jargon, they're bylaws. They're not an easy read. So it's really easy for her now to just ask Chad, hey, I need this. And it'll pull it for her. And then she can go reference the document to make sure that it's accurate, because we always want to check accuracy. But because it's our document that it's referencing, it's accurate. So far, it's been accurate 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Because that's the only reference it's using. We say use this document, and it uses that document and finds the thing that it needs. So, yeah, it's been really helpful for that, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many different ways that we use it here, even like for anything related to membership. It has all that information, not personal information, but it does have a lot of information about our business, which has been super helpful. Just to
membership
save some time
tiers.
For us.
I've used it for, I actually used it yesterday for brainstorming some new social media content. So it knows our membership tiers. It knows the membership benefits. So one of the suggestions it made was really funny because it's something that we already do. It came up with, why don't you do a segment on Rhonda on the road?
Like, that's hilarious.
Perfect.
Did it call it something else? Or did
it called it Rhonda on the Road because it knows that we have an initiative called Rhonda on the Road. So it's using our content that we've uploaded to it to give me ideas back out of it. So it was amazing. It said like highlight member referral program, highlight like specific member benefits at specific times. And I'm already doing most of the stuff it gave me, but it did give me some new ideas. So it was nice to just have a little back and forth chat, brainstorming new social media content.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, let's move into the next segment. We're going to talk about pros and cons of ChatGPT. Kind of already went over a lot of the pros, but the main thing that we know is that it saves a lot of time, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Really just like boosts efficiency of teams, helps you with problem solving.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can think of?
It can spark creativity too.
Yep.
Because if it's just like the name thing, if it sparked that social word and we were like, oh, that's a pretty funny take on the word social. And it's snowing because it's Christmas. So it does help you spark that little like creativity, creative nugget.
Exactly. So obviously we do know that there are some cons with ChatGPT too.
Oh boy, are there.
And just AI in general. So we're not gonna, dance around that subject. So one thing that we have seen is that it can be wrong.
Yes, it can.
Yep.
You do need to fact check every single time you use ChatGPT for anything.
Yeah, especially anything that's like knowledge based. And instead of just, take everything with a grain of salt, just like you would with anything online.
Yeah.
But something that's cool that a lot of people probably don't know with ChatGPT is after you look something up, there's typically like a little circle at the end of the sentence, and or like a couple of them, and it's actually if you click it, it's telling you where it pulled that information from and what source it came from. Yeah. So definitely recommend, if it's anything that's fact-based or something that you want to double check, click that and see where it's pulling it from.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So for example, this is not ChatGPT, but if you've Googled anything recently, you probably know that Google has at the top like a summarized AI answers now. When you look something up, I guess as a competition probably to ChatGPT.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Every company's, working on adding AI.
Embracing AI.
Exactly. So yesterday I was Googling something specifically about Clarington parking and the bylaws. And it gave me an answer, and I looked. I wasn't sure where it pulled it from, so I wanted to check. So I looked at those little circles there. I clicked it, and it was actually pulling that information from the city of Toronto. So it wasn't specific to Clarington at all.
Right.
So again, don't take it as facts. Click and see where it's coming from, because it's a good chance it was wrong, and it was wrong. So
yeah, absolutely. And that was the Google AI.
yes, Google AI,
Yes.
not ChatGPT, but yeah.
But I did the same search. So we kind of were doing a little comparison yesterday. So I did the same search for the same bylaw parking question in Clarington.
Oh yeah, you did. I forgot about
that. with ChatGPT, and it gave a more in-depth answer because it wasn't just an AI overview, it was an actual search. And when it did cite, it cited Oakville, it cited the city of Toronto again. And then I made it think harder, because with the new update to ChatGPT, there's the 5th generation model, and it uses a thinking mode. So I made it go into thinking mode, and then it got really specific into Clarington bylaws, and it pulled all of the resources that we were actually looking for Clarington, and it had the little bubble was all Clarington websites. So it is better than the AI overview. But you do still have to be careful, because the first answer that it spit out at me was Oakville and Toronto, and that's not what I was looking for.
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, there can be some issues with that. So
Yeah,
again,
and
always
dates.
fact check. Dates. Yeah. It gets dates wrong very often.
So today, when we're recording this, it's Tuesday, and when we type this date, it's Tuesday, August 19th. If we were to type this date right now into ChatGPT, which I will do right now, and say, what day of the week?
Well, then it'll probably look. It's more like when you're generating something and you just give it a date without a day of the week.
Oh, true. It did say August 19th, and then gave me a year. 2025 falls on a Tuesday with a little green check mark.
But if you don't specifically tell it to search that, and you just have a date in there, it will put the wrong day of the week. So
yes, it'll say it's Wednesday, August 19th, which it's not.
It's not. Find that out the hard way.
Yeah. Yes. So be very, very careful.
And always look. Always double check.
Always check.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Do we want to tell people kind of how to start using ChatGPT?
Yeah, I guess maybe just a couple more things on the con side, or just to be careful of. I would say just like privacy concerns. Obviously, don't be putting personal information in there.
Yeah.
Like, don't put your SIN number in there.
Yeah, don't do that. Credit card information. Stay away.
None of that. Don't put any specific information, especially if it's other people's information, because, they didn't give you the right to give that information to AI. So
absolutely.
Don't do that. Nothing too specific. And then, of course, another concern that we always hear is like, ChatGPT makes you lazy, which it can, depending on how you're using it. So
absolutely.
I think, again, the key there is to be using it like an assistant, to be using it like not to take over your entire job, and you still have to use your brain. So
yeah,
as everyone
exercise
knows,
that muscle still.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah. Critical thinking.
Awesome. So yeah, let's move into the next part. We're going to talk about just some recommendations and first steps for any businesses that are looking to start using AI and don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can kick that off, Erika.
I will do just that. So when I was thinking about how to start using AI, I figured, why not ask AI how to start using AI? So I did just that, and I typed in using ChatGPT effectively, how to use ChatGPT effectively, and it gave me an answer. And the answer was, be clear with your goal. So you can just talk to it like it's a person. Let me grab my other answer, because I did this twice. I did this to compare on my business account of ChatGPT, and I did it on my personal account of ChatGPT. And it really shed a light on how it speaks to you very differently based on how you're using it and the inputs that you're putting into it. So my business one, my CBOT account, ChatGPT, was giving me long-winded answers and thought-provoking things, and it was trying to get me to work with it better and things like that, because that's how I use ChatGPT at work. I want to brainstorm with it. I want it to collaborate with me and things like that, where I don't want it to just tell me straight to the point the answers. But when I pull up my personal how to use ChatGPT effectively, it gave me emojis and bullet points and things that it thinks I want from it, because it is a mirror of how you talk to it, really. So it was much easier to use my personal one than it was to use my CBOT account when I was asking this question. It basically pulled up how to prompt. You want to learn how to prompt. So a bad prompt would be, write me a blog. A good prompt would be, write me a 500-word blog post in a witty but professional tone about why, and then you insert your subject here, and then you can give it an audience to aim at. So I want to aim this blog at marketing professionals, and it'll tone your blog and not just spit out some jargon of any length.
Yeah,
it'll
I think
be specific.
A helpful way to think about it is if you were going to ask an employee to do something.
Yes.
You wouldn't just say, make a post. You would say, if you're giving specific instructions, you would say, can you please make a post about this event that we just had and make sure to include X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
So just think about that. The more details you put, the better a response it's going to be. Yeah. And the other thing is, if you don't like the first response it gives you, you're not stuck with that one. Right. That's a nice thing. You can bounce back and forth with it and say, okay, I like that, but I don't like this part. So fix that. Right. Or try giving me more ideas for that. And you can bounce back and forth until you get that response that you like.
Yeah, absolutely. And it said that too. It said, iterate, don't settle. So your first output doesn't have to be your final output. Use follow-ups, like make it shorter, add humor, give me variations, give me 5 variations, and it'll rewrite that thing for you 5 times. It's definitely a back and forth, and it's not like a one and done. You can't say, make me a social media post about the weather today and have it spit out exactly what you're looking for, because it won't. It doesn't know where you're looking for the weather. It doesn't know if you want it to be a happy sun post or a sad rain post, things like that. So make sure that you're talking to it. But something that I actually didn't even think of until I asked this question to ChatGPT, one of the tips it gave was to use roles. So give ChatGPT a role so it knows how to frame your answer. So if you want it to be a marketing professional, tell it, say, ChatGPT, you are a marketing professional and I need to know this, or cool. I need you to create this, right? Or you are my personal editor and this is what I'm writing, edit it professionally. You're a teacher explaining this to a 10-year-old. Like, it's as simple as that. Just tell it what it is so it knows how to answer you.
Yep. Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think no need to overthink it too much at the beginning.
Yes.
And I think a really good way to start with that is just start using it maybe before you use it for business. Start using it in your personal life. Yep. Little things like recipes. I have these ingredients. What can I make with this tonight? Right.
Bonnie does use it for meal planning.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She uses it for meal planning.
Yeah. Even like if you wanted to start, like I recently wanted to start getting back into going to the gym, and I kind of told it, like, these are my goals. This is how many times I can go per week. This is the gym I go to. What equipment do they have? And it was able to pull all of this for me amazing. And give me like a personalized workout. So yeah, that's really, really cool too. So yeah, just maybe start like doing things in your personal life. And I think the main thing is once you understand the capabilities of ChatGPT and once you understand what it can do, then it becomes easier to understand more how to use it. Yes. Like just like anything, practice makes perfect.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to say a little story about what happened when I came back from mat leave. So I went on mat leave in 2023, October. And before that, I was using it a little bit, a very small amount. I was just in there playing around a little bit to see what the capabilities of it were. And then I went on mat leave. And then I came back in October of 2024. And Alyssa was covering my mat leave. And when I got back and asked her how she was doing so many things, because we grew a lot in that year that I was gone. Yeah. And she said, ChatGPT. ChatGPT has saved like my sanity, essentially.
Yeah, because while she was gone, I was doing the social media, I was doing events, I was also doing
the communications, the e-bulletin, everything, all of it. She was doing all the things.
So I really had to find a way to make the use of my time and be the most productive I could be. So
yes. So when she said that, it intimidated me immediately because I had been gone from work for a whole year, and I was really nervous to start back up and start using ChatGPT. It was this foreign thing that I had kind of used a little bit.
It seemed to really blow up and become really, really big in the year that you were off.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. So I was kind of reading my prompts to Alyssa and saying, it gave me this answer and I don't like it. What do I do? And she would say, tell it to be less dramatic. I'm like, what? Tell it to be less dramatic? Like, I would say that to my sister. I wouldn't say that to like ChatGPT. She's like, no. trust me, talk to it like
Try it.
it's a person, a human person, and you'll be amazed at the results that you get back out of it. And so that kind of knocked down that barrier for me where I was really intimidated to start using it every day. And now I don't know what I would do without it.
Yep.
I'm sure I'd figure it out. I have a brain, but
I mean, we made it through the past however many years.
We
of your
did.
Life, so.
We did. We made it. I've made it my whole 33 years without it.
She almost forgot how old she is. No.
Well,
Using too much ChatGPT. Forgot how to think.
Forgot how to think. I'm not 33, I'm 34. But
See, she did.
No, it's because for the last year I've been using it.
Yeah.
So I had to do the math.
Right. Yeah. So again, remember the golden rule with AI and ChatGPT in general, which is always fact check.
Always.
Again, you're using it for ideas. They're your assistant. It's not meant to replace you or any employees. It's really just,
a tool.
A tool, exactly.
It's a tool in your tool belt.
Exactly.
And when I asked the how to use it effectively prompt, it did tell me in there, don't forget to fact check. It's smart, but it's not perfect. If you're using it for research, always double check dates, stats, or claims. So it's got that disclaimer built right in.
Perfect. All right, so that's pretty much it for that. We want to thank our sponsor again, Michael Durham Landscaping. Amazing guy. Definitely reach out to him, www.michaeldurhamlandscaping.com. Yep. Very, very easy to remember.
And he brings his team out to our networking events sometimes, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, come to our events. You can connect with him there. He does a great job, so we wouldn't be able to do today's episode without you.
Nope,
so
we wouldn't.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, and we will be back next month for another episode of CBOT Unplugged.
We will.
Do we know the topic yet? Or is it a secret, this one?
We may have a special guest.
Okay.
But it's in the works. So I'm not going to spoil anything or set that up right now. But it will definitely be a topic that you're interested in, regardless of if we have a guest or not. So tune in. That one will be dropping probably the first week of October.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that one.
Lots of events coming up in the fall.
Yes.
So take a look. members.cbot.ca/events. You can find all of our upcoming events there.
Follow us on social media, of course, so you can see all of my lovely hard work.
All of her and Chad's hard work.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Chad.
Yes. And we got to thank Chad for coming today.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Chad.
Up. Great job.
With your clipboard and everything.
He was prepared.
He was.
All right. Thank you all for listening.
Catch you next time. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of CBOT Unplugged, brought to you by the Clarington Board of Trade. Follow us on Instagram at ClaringtonBot, on Facebook at the Clarington Board of Trade, or visit our website, cbot.ca.